Hello and welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we're going to be doing an unboxing of a Masterforce 56-inch wide rolling tool cabinet. This one is usually available as special order only from Menards and was purchased recently as a belated Christmas gift from my wife. And so it's interesting here, net weight 295 pounds, gross weight 384 pounds, contains one, and I got it in the color red, which is special order only. Do not stack more than 2 high, team lift. This does fit in the back of a modest SUV such as a Chevy Trailblazer or a Saab 97X. It comes and it's forkable at the bottom. You can see there's a sort of a cardboard pallet skid at the bottom, which is how they were transporting this around the Menards when I went to pick it up. And so we're going to unbox this. The tools that you're going to need for assembling your toolbox are going to be as follows. You're going to want a parts tray for keeping track of screws. You may want a pair of work gloves here when it comes to loading and unloading the packaging out of your vehicle or even at the store. You're going to want some form of cutting instrument to go cut open your box, and then to go cut off the straps. And then for fixing the casters and the push handle, you're going to need a 10mm ratcheting wrench for the push handle. And then you're going to need a 14mm socket to be able to attach the casters. I'm using a 3/8 inch drive. You're going to want probably about 8 to 12 inches worth of extension. Whether that's one extension or a couple extensions paired together, doesn't matter. And then I use a 3/8 flex head ratchet, although just a regular 3/8 ratchet would be fine. And you could probably even do this with a 1/4 inch one and be fine. I chose 3/8. Nice piece of cardboard here on top that fits perfectly in the very top. We'll set that aside. And now we can see the front of our tool cabinet. We can see on the lower left side, we've got our keys there. This is nicely wrapped. On first look around, I don't see any signs of damage in shipping to the store, so I'm very happy about that. I don't really want a damaged tool chest. And we've got this nice bit of plastic wrap, which is nice. It seems to unwrap pretty easily by just pulling it off and letting the sides fold away. So now as we go up to the toolbox here, one of the things that I liked about this is what they call, I believe, a raise and release. Craftsman calls this a grip latch, where you lift the front bar and you see the hooks on the side. This has dual ball bearing slides on either side of this top drawer. It's not quite full extension. There's still maybe an inch back here that's not all the way out. This has a round lock, if I can get the little plastic off here. Like that. So it looks like it comes unlocked. It's supposed to come with drawer liners, so my first check is going to be make sure all the drawer liners are here. Though it feels like there's a couple drawer liners stacked up here. Looks like one of those is actually torn. On the side here. Okay, so that's a nice soft feel mat. Let's double check up here because looks like there's only one full width one. We've got our manual. We'll pull that out. Be nice if there was one for the top here. We'll see if we can still find that. Looks like that's cosmetic. This yellow box here tells me that we've got, here we go, we've got our hardware package. So we got our keys. Some more packing cardboard. We've got a push handle. We've got some screws. And we've got a package with what I presume to be casters. And then I found 2 more drawer liner pieces at the bottom. Not sure what those are for yet. I still had one leftover drawer liner from when I pulled out the one on top. We'll go ahead and drop that one down. Like that. So now all my drawers have a drawer liner, and there's these 2 extra pieces of the drawer liner material. I'm not sure these are the appropriate size. If we put these up on top of the toolbox up here, you'll see that these don't quite work out the fit exactly across the top. I was hoping there would have been a nice top mat up here just for separation, so I might have to figure out something to do with that. Although maybe it's still in the hardware box. We'll set these 2 mats aside. Not sure what to do with them, but they're actually pretty nice mats if we look at them. It's a soft closed cell foam. It's got a soft finish to it. Looks like it does collect dust kind of easily. If you look at the front here, we got folded over metal. We've got a nice little lip around the edge here that we can see either a top cabinet in or a workbench in. You can buy either stainless steel or an oak top for this, although I might just buy an edge glued board to make it easier, and it's actually cheaper, and then customize it for my setup for how I'm going to go. You'll get to see a toolbox tour of how I set up my toolbox here in the coming weeks, so make sure you subscribe to my channel. So when you open up the box of casters, you'll see there's 6 in here, so that's 1 for each corner, and there's 2 for the middle, so there's 3 on each side. Again, I like the extra casters for the extra support. So that means that the distance between casters will roughly be about 28 inches or so on center. I've got all my bolts here all set up here, ready to go in a parts tray. Then I'm going to use my cardboard that I got that it was packaged on top to be able to set the tool cabinet over on its side. So now I will go ahead and do that off camera. Here's a quick look at the bottom of the toolbox before I get the casters on. You can see where the nuts are already welded in. You can see the red powder coating across. There's actually one small scratch here at the bottom. Not sure if I want to get too stressed about that. A couple of these fittings here, when I said the powder coating was over that. For some reason it wasn't. I don't know why. A couple little small scratches here on the bottom. You've got this angle stiffener that goes on either side. So all this runs in one set of a U-channel, and that's another U-channel for stiffening up the bottom. And so now we'll put in our casters. With the toolbox on its side and the wheels on, let's just take a look at these wheels. These are locking casters in the 4 corners. You can see the nice little lever knob here, easily pressable with your foot. And one of the nice things in the 4 corners, these actually do have a Zerk fitting. If you want to grease them up, they come pre-greased. But you can easily come back and pop your grease gun on there and give it a couple pumps. The center casters have no Zerk fitting, and this is only for the swivel action. There is no grease fitting for the actual rolling of the wheels. This feels like a nice polyurethane caster. These plates here on the 4 corners are not quite square. When I was putting them on, I actually started putting one on the wrong way. They will fit the wrong way, sort of, through the first hole, but your second bolt won't be in the right position. But it will fit between the 2 edges here of that gusset plate. And so now the next thing is on to assembling the side push handle. And so for that, we've got these stainless steel, so I think these are stainless bolts. And we're going to need a small 10mm wrench. I'm going to opt for a ratcheting wrench here. And the reason why you want a wrench as opposed to a socket, maybe a 1/4 inch would work, but here's a 3/8 ratchet and a 10mm socket. And if I look at the position where these holes are, for trying to get my socket head onto where you square over that hole, I can't do it here with a 3/8. Maybe you could with a 1/4, but I think a 10mm ratcheting wrench will be just fine. And looking at the back side of the cabinet, you can see a couple of patent IDs here. Importantly, here's a sticker that says Made in China. Then you've got one hole here on what's the right if you're looking at it from the front. It's the left on the back. The other side here is another bolt hole here. So if you buy the matching top part, you can bolt those together. There is no screw holes on the other side for the push handle. The push handle only mounts on what is the right side from the front. It's a nice chrome with a couple little warning stickers here, of course, to keep people from being stupid, or at least if people are dumb, they can't say they didn't warn you. So now let's take a look at the manuals. So the first thing here with the manuals, it's interesting here because this actually tells us a little bit about who the OEM is. There's a slip package in here that says that your satisfaction is our biggest concern. Call 1-800 or email us at customersupport@qualitycraft.ca. So this is presumably the OEM is a Canadian company called Quality Craft. Now there is a serial number on the back side of this box that I didn't show on camera for obvious reasons. Then we also get the operator's manual. And so you look through here, this simply tells you the obvious instructions here. Do not open more than one drawer at a time. Do not step up on the drawers. Do not allow children to be near the unit. Team lift. It's actually on a pretty heavyweight paper here. We've got replacement part numbers here. Show that for the camera in case you need to order any of these parts for your Menards Masterforce tool cabinet. We've got information about how the raise and release drawer slides work, installing the casters, how to remove the drawers. Then on the back, here's the little tabs you'd use to lock the top down to the back side. Now, one of the things I thought was interesting that's missing from here, and maybe I'm just a little OCD, is I wish there was a torque spec on what the proper torque was for installing the casters. That's not disclosed here, or the torque spec for installing the handle on the side. You know, not necessary, but it would have been a nice touch to be able to have on the cabinet. So now fully assembled, let's take a look at how this looks. And so here's the fully assembled front of the cabinet. And this has all 11 drawers. We got the 6 casters on, we got the side handle, we've got the top. And looking at the manual, there apparently is not supposed to actually be a top on top of here, or a roll piece on top of here. So now let me get out my tape measure, and we're going to do a couple of quick measurements here on the drawers. So now if we look at the big top drawer here on top, and I take a tape measure and go all the way down, the usable space inside is about 51 3/4 inches from left to right. And then now if you go front to back, the usable space is about 16.5, although there's about another 1/4 inch of a lip right here. So you could have 16 3/4 back here, but 16.5 to this front lip here. And so that depth is going to be the same for all the drawers going back. So now if we go down a drawer, and we go down to these are the shallow drawers. Again, the same depth, but let's look at that usable height. And that usable height here, it's about just a touch under 2 inches, just a touch over 1 3/4, a little under 2, and that's what the drawer liner in. If you took the drawer liner out, you'll get a little bit of extra depth. If we go down second from the bottom, this has a depth of about 4 3/4 inches. And now if we go all the way down, that depth is about 7 3/4 inches as well. And so that's our depths of our drawers. The final thing I'm going to do here for you guys is I'm going to take a drawer out and we'll see if we can see what the finish looks like on the inside. So now I've removed one of the middle-sized drawers, the second from the bottom. And I'm going to shine a flashlight back here. You can see the powder coating goes all the way back. Looks like it's all the way around. A couple places here I see there's a little bit of a wrinkle in the powder coating here on the left side. Let me pull back the big drawer here so we can see even more about the bottom here. Sorry, I'm having to use the flashlight here to get enough illumination. As I'm looking around here, it looks like I'm not seeing any gaps in the powder coat other than where the screw holes were for the casters. You can see the drawer slides. And overall, I'm pretty pleased. I'm not seeing any major gaps in the powder coating. You can see there's maybe a little bit here in one of the slots in the side metal. You can see the ball bearings and the drawer slides there. One detail to point out here on the full extension drawer, you can see the supports where the little gusset plate supports, where there's 4 of them that are at the bottom of the drawer right here. there, there, and there that help give support to this full-length drawer. Thanks for watching this unboxing of the toolbox. In the next week or two, you'll see a toolbox tour once I get all my toolbox stuff put together. I hope you found this video useful, and have a great day. Bye.